Hello, it's Christian Peterson, and this is the Sneaky Project. So I have the play screen, as you can see. Wait a second for it to load. You press play, it'll play the game. And if you die, it takes you to the list screen. Press play again. Oh wait, hold on. My bad. I forgot to win. And that was me killing it. I didn't have enough time to get the animations in, as you can see. Up here we have the lives. Alright, now I'll show you the code. Alright, so let's minimize this and this. And here. Alright, so this is my code for my game. We will start here. Or actually, we'll start here. If it'll go there. Sorry, my computer's a little slow. Give it a second. Okay, the words are big because my eyes are bad. Alright, so this is the code, and what all of this code pretty much does is it gets the camera to follow the player character. There's not a lot here. This is the controller, and this connects to both the enemy controller and player controller. It allows the pawns to function pretty much. This is the enemy controller. And this controls pawn movement, and it's much longer than the controller. This is the enemy pawn. So this is the enemy. This is what controls the enemy pretty much. This is the enemy. This is what allows the enemy to chase. This allows the enemy to look for the player. This sends the enemy back to the home position. Override void. This moves it towards you. I think. Let me see. Yes. This is pretty much the turn speed and stuff like that for the enemy. This allows it to have health and take damage. This is the game manager. This is where you input the key commands and stuff. As we know, we make plenty of game managers at this point. This is what allows the main menu to pop up so that I can press play or quit. The quit doesn't exactly work because it's not an actual loaded game, so it can't exit out of, like the button's there, but it can't exit you out of Unity. This is the pawn, which this is what the enemy and player pawn are connected to. And this sets the AI states, and the enemy health, player position, the home point for the enemy, the goal point, current state. They give up chase distance, so when it gives up, it's got the move speed and the turn volume, move volume. This is pretty much just the AI, the main AI for both the player pawn and the enemy pawn. Move forward, move right, move backwards, move left, walk, chase, sit idle, look around, go home. So these are all those functions. Alright. This is what allows the player to attack. And as you know, I have a couple people that help me and tutor me, and well, this player attack is actually something I'm pretty proud of because I actually did this one all on my own. No one helped me debug it or anything. I mean, usually I do the code and type the code and find, you know, examples and stuff, but somebody always helps me debug or gives me, you know, suggestions. This is the first time I did it all on my own, and it ended up working. And I did have to find code examples, of course, but I debugged it and everything, and I made it my own. And yeah, it was harder than you'd think, but I got it working. This is the player controller, and this is pretty much, so the enemy controller is the enemy's AI and stuff, and all of the AI senses. This is the player's version. Let's see, moves pawn, you know, you got your arrow key, so he's going to move forward, down arrow is going to move backwards, left and right, move him left and right. The pawn's not walking, he's idle. If the pawn is walking, he's moving. This is the player pawn. This is connected to the pawn and the enemy pawn, or this is what's connected to the pawn, just like the enemy pawn, I'd say. Let's go back up to the top, sorry, 1 second. So, this is what grabs player position, moves it forward. This allows for those inputs to go from the controller to the actual pawn itself. And this is where this is all grabbed and put into place. Oh, this is the noisemaker. So this allows for the player to make noise so the enemy can chase after and scan for it. Hold on, for some reason there we go. Okay. And then these are just the rest of the input keys, and then this is also part of the noisemaker. More input keys, just like with the enemy pawn. And there's that. This is what puts the player lives up on the screen and makes you lose when you lose 3 times. This is the AI senses. This is where hold on, this is where all the AI senses get thrown in and all the numbers are there. This is what causes them to have value and actually be active when you place them in these other places. I guess I could take the debugs out, that's my bad. This is for if the enemy, you know, so it can see us, scan for us. This is the NPC. I called it the Lion of Death. I drew the NPC and the player character myself. So I messed up on the enemy and it ended up looking like a lion. And it's got the AI senses in it. It's got all of its public floats and AI states all this stuff's called up here so that you can put it down here, and that calls back to the controller or the pawn. I'm not sure which one. That's probably my fault. I'll have to ask somebody about that. This gives the enemy directions on when to be idle and when not to be. This allows the lion to look around, allows it to chase. This gives it the ability to chase depending on the situation. The lion will look during the chase, so like if you go out of range, not out of range, but out of its, so say it's chasing you, but you go up instead of just a straight line, or you kind of zigzag, it can still follow you. And if the player gets lost and goes out of the lion's view, then the lion will go back to start. This makes the lion look around. And again, if the player spotted it, will chase. If it was in chase distance, it'll chase. If the player is not within chase distance, it'll go home. And then, as I put here, all this stuff above, up there, the lion's actions. And then this is part of the code that moves the line towards the player. And then the noisemaker that's up in the player pawn is down here. This is the main code for it. This is where that's grabbing from. It's not a lot, but it does allow the player to make noise. So it's pretty important for the game. And then I'll play it once again for you. Oh, I think I forgot to check. Let's see. I should be able to die 3 times. Let's make sure here everything's working correctly. Looks like something's wrong with my lives. But either way, so I'll show you the lion does follow me. Hold on. And I can die, as you just saw, and the lion can die. Let's see. At first I had it so that the lion could so that the lion and the player did the same amount of damage, but the lion was kind of a beast and it goes much faster than the player, so it would kill me every single time. I only was able to kill it once, so I had to change that. Anyways, yeah, that's my game. I named it Game of Sneaks. And thanks.
Recording. Alright.